There was a time I used to look into my captain's eyes. On a happy boat, I was the first mate, I had a goal. Up on the ship during a great storm. That's when... No, that doesn't rhyme. Howdy, hobby hotties, and welcome to A Pirate Survival. No, A Pirate's Exploration, where we have stopped exploring and settled down on this little asteroid over here, which we have called... Actually, we haven't. I did off camera. Technically on camera, but for now it's off camera. Homeworld. Anyway, that little bit of monologue there means that I did record this episode, which you probably see from the addition of a big giant thing over there and another ship that you don't know about. So I have recorded this episode before. Sadly, the first time, I kind of forgot to plug in my mic after moving about my setup, so there was no audio, and that's a bad thing. Yes, indeed. So all that footage is crap and I deleted it. And what I did in that first bit of footage is, well, of course I built this thing, which for now is called Dora. I'll explain what this ship is. And it is basically an explorer. Wow, the name didn't give that away. Anyway, it has pretty much nothing useful in it except being a transportation vehicle. It is designed to go in a straight line, accelerate really fast, and stop really fast, and nothing else. It has a double set of batteries. I think the lights are in here. Yeah, you can see the batteries in there. So it has a battery inside here and a battery inside there. So these two are basically the same and just flipped over. I think this has the beacon and this has the ore detector, so I can see what ores are inside and mark them. So the purpose of this ship was to fly around and mark a couple of asteroids where I could get all of my resources. So this place right here has gold and ice. I think that's pretty much it. Come on, show up. There we go. Ice and gold. I'm not counting iron because iron is literally in every asteroid. So we have Flubber. It's named Flubber because it looks like Flubber. It has most of the stuff, which was a really nice find. First place I went to. Second place was Gunland. Basically only has a lot of magnesium, which is why it's called Gunland, because that's what you do with magnesium. Kivsey looks like a chicken, has a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then we have Brian, which looks like a brain, but Brian is a better name. Breath. So anyway, that was the first part I did, so let's remove all of those. Blah 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 blah. I will not remove them, but turn them away from the screen. And that is not how they work. Damn it. I'll have to reload the game. Anyway. Sorry about that, now you're probably seasick. Or space sick. What we have in front of us here is the production module of our capital ship. So the point of this platform right here, which I've kind of forgot to explain, is that we're going to transform this platform into our capital ship, which is going to be our main base that we fly around in, something that is way more fabulous than our little cabin. So what this is it's 2 refineries, 4 arc furnaces, and 7 assemblers. And what happens here is that this little thing, this is our input cargo, and this sorter makes sure that the refineries work on basically everything except the ferrous metals, and the ferrous metals are the ones that go into the arc furnaces, and the refineries can access those materials, but it is hard because it has to pull it from the cargo container through the arc furnaces and then into the refineries. And I'm not actually sure if it can do that. I have yet to test it though. But hopefully it does that when there's only like iron and nickel, which are ferrous metals, and cobalt. If there are only those, then the refineries will process them as well. Anyway, this sorter over here pulls ingots, everything that is not ore. It pulls everything that is not ore and shoves it to the second part of the system. And the second part of the system is the mass storage for ingots. So this is the mass storage for ingots and the assemblers. So it shoves the ingots inside there and lets the assemblers work on it. It will also pull anything from this that is not ore. So if I were to shock some metal plates, which I actually have in my pocket, if I were to shock some metal plates in here, you'll see that they get pulled, and they get pulled by those things and shoved into that cargo, and then they get pulled by this thing that pulls everything that is not ingots or ore. It pulls everything that is not ingots or that is so terrible to say. For some reason I don't like saying that. I'm gonna stop. But it pulls those things and it shoves them into the parts container. So we need to have two separate containers here, because otherwise we would create a loop. So if this little pipe here went into the ingots cargo and it pulled parts, then it could it would put the parts into the cargo container, then pull the parts from the cargo container up in a loop, and then put it into the cargo container again, and that would create a loop, and that would break the entire system. And that is bad. That is really bad. But basically that is what we did. We built this, we talked about it, we did stuff and had fun, and I don't have that on camera. So I think for today we're not gonna end it there, because I don't have a lot of time. I have a little bit of time. So instead of doing something here, because I kind of want your input on how to build this ship, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to a creative world, and I'm gonna build a mock-up of what I think this ship will look like. Okay? Oh, here we go. Welcome to the creative world. In here we have to talk like this because it is the rules of the creative world. No, it's not. That's a lie. That's totally a lie. Anyway, guys, this is a very, very, very rough prototype. It's a very rough prototype, and well, you can see that. So we have basically three modules. We have a refinery, we have a hangar, and we have a booster pack, which I'll show you in a second. This is the front of the ship, and this is the back. This would be the right side, and the other side would be the left side. So we would travel in that direction, over there. Like so. And this is about half, a third, something of the finished ship. As you can see, we would probably need another hangar, we would need a control room, we would need a power room, we would probably need something else, an oxygen management room. So there are a lot of things missing from this, but this is a rough prototype. Rough. Anyway, the point here is that we would be able to drill straight through an asteroid with our capital ship. Just drive straight through the asteroid and then fly to the next one. And we wouldn't need to do any disconnections or connections. We would just drive through it with our normal capital ship, and we would get all the resources we need. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. There are some problems. We can't put that many thrusters in the front to stop, but that is where the booster pack comes in. So we open the door, there's another one. The same thing happens on the other side. So we open the door, and then we deploy our booster thrusters that pop out from the side, and we can use them to boost. Now the large thrusters aren't powerful enough, I think, to drive this. We would also need to somehow merge them in this position to be able to actually use them, because if they're not merged, then well, we're going to not fly where we want to be. It's like dragging a giant ship around. Basically, we have a small ship that is trying to drag a giant ship around, and it's going to go off course so much. And there's not really much I can do about that. I could try to get the center of mass perfect, but yeah, in the end, it wouldn't really work. I'm not too confident after building this. I'm not too confident in the concept. But we can go to the back. You see, that is how it looks when it is deployed. And if we undeploy, they go in like that. So this could probably be better streamlined. Thruster wise, maybe not. We could add a second set of thrusters like this on both sides, so we could get a little bit more. And if we made it wider, so pulled out this side like that, then we could fit maybe even another set of large thrusters, or at least a couple more small thrusters. So we could do that, but we can't make them taller because, well, these doors, which are really nice, but I mean, maybe we don't even need those doors. We don't need them at all, really. I don't know. We have the hangar down here, air doors right here, very nice, and then we have the production facility in the bottom, which is just replaced with other blocks that I happen to have in my hand at the moment. That is supposed to be the cargo containers. Those are actually the refineries and arc furnaces and assemblers, and they will go around here as well. But anyway, I'm not too sure about this. If you have any ideas for a capital ship that I could drive through an asteroid, then tell me in the comment section below. If you have like any images of a spaceship or a capital ship that you really like that could be converted into this. And it doesn't need to be, or I prefer it not to be, a space engineer's ship or a ship made in space engineers, but just something like a reference material, an image of something, a cool ship. I have one other idea, and that would make a ship that is this basic shape. So a, well, it of course would be many times larger. This is just a mock-up, like the shape. It would be a ship that is a line, and inside one of the hangars we would have a disc that is a ship that has drills on it, and we could deploy the disc and smack it in front of the ship. So it doesn't need to be there all the times, but we could have the ship or have that part at all times, but we can just add it to the ship when we need it. I'm not sure if you're getting my point at all, because I don't really either, and I don't have the time to build it, but that's just another idea. If you have anything, then please leave me suggestions. I really need them, otherwise I have no idea what to do. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though the episode itself kind of wasn't here. If you did, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave a dislike, and I shall see you next time.